Beautiful day. It is the day of appearance of Srimati Lalita Devi. What is her service? She is always engaged in service of Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. So, it is mentioned that Lalita Devi, she is the most confidential associate of Srimati Radharani. She is the first gopi who is very next to Lalita Devi. And therefore, it is mentioned by our Gaudiya Acharyas that if you want us to approach Srimati Radharani, one has to go via Srimati Lalita Devi. And that's why you find also, Tithi-wise, before Radhastami comes, Lalita Devi appearance comes. Just few days before. A day before or 2 days. This time 2 days before. The whole idea is that we take blessings of Srimati Lalita Devi and then it is easy to approach Srimati Radharani. So, it is mentioned that Lalita Devi, she is engaged in service of Radharani and Krishna, but she depends entirely upon a very important assistant, and that is Shri Rupa Manjari. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned Chaitanya Charitamrita that same Srimati Radharani has come as Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna come together with Radharani's mood. The same Lalita Devi has come as Swarup Damodar Goswami, and the same Rup Manjari has come as Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, if someone had to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they would only be able to do so by taking appointment or consultation with Swarup Damodar Goswami. Either meeting or presenting a book, presenting a verse, presenting a song, anything, it has to go via Swarup Damodar Goswami, because he was the personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya. And then Srila Prabhupada mentions, but how to approach Swarup Damodar Goswami, how to approach Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a conditioned souls may not know. So same Rupa Manjari has come as Rupa Goswami and has given us literatures, the Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures, by studying which we get a mood, we understand the mood of approaching Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates. And therefore, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we are all called Rupanugas. We are the followers of Rupa Goswami because we entirely depend on Rupa Goswami to help us approach Swarup Damodar Goswami and approach Lord Chaitanya. So Lalita Devi plays a very pivotal role in Krishna's pastimes, Radharani's pastimes. Radharani in her pastimes with Krishna depend on Lalita very heavily. Therefore, every pastime Radha Krishna, almost all places Lalita Devi is there. So sometimes Lalita Devi is that particular Sakhi in Krishna Leela where she assists in whatever way it is necessary. If it is a humble way necessary, she will be humble, submissive. Necessary to change something and be very, very strong towards Krishna or towards Radharani, she will become strong also. Therefore, Radharani highly depends on Lalita Devi for many pastimes where Krishna becomes very strong and adamant and she calls immediately Lalita Devi for help. So these are very intimate pastimes. But let's discuss something which we can relate to our life also. We are talking about Lalita Devi in today's discourse. I was referring to some books where it is mentioned which all places there are pastimes happening in Vrindavan of Lalita Devi. So there is one Lalita Kund in Radha Kund, near Radha Kund, and there is one Lalita Kund in Nandagaon. And there is Uncha Gaon also, where Lalita Devi was born. So what is this Lalita Kund? Now, Srila Jiva Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, they mention that the original Radha Kund was very small when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and discovered that place. And there was a small, they call it spring, from which water was always gushing out. And then it is mentioned that by the arrangement of Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami excavated the whole Radha Kund very big, Sham Kund very big. And then water comes out from the spring, fills in Radha Kund, and that same water, there is a small channel, enters into Sham Kund. Originally Sham Kund was made and then Radha Kund was made. But now, up till now, Radha Kund is the place where continuous water is gushing out and it fills in Sham Kund also. Now when Radha Kund and Sham Kund completely filled, there has to be a channel for water to move out. And that channel moves out into Lalita Kund. But because of so much construction going on in Vrindavan places, all that things, and Kali Yuga's intervention. It is mentioned that now Lalita Kund is actually manifested. But the other kunds are there, which are Sakhi's kunds, that are not manifested. Only in monsoon season, where there is a lot of rainfall in Radha Kund, maybe you will find some kunds here and there. But Lalita Kund is still there. And next to Lalita Kund is Lalita Bihari temple, which Vajranabh installed deities, where there is a deity of Lalita Devi and Krishna. There are few places where Lalita Devi and Krishna's deities are there. There is one place very prominent here. Even in Uchagaon, there is not Lalita Devi and Krishna. There is Radharani, Krishna and Lalita Devi. Anyways, this is one place where Lalita Kund is there in Radha Kund, near Radha Kund. And there is another place in Nandagaon. And that is mentioned that Lalita Kund is the personal bathing place of Lalita Devi. She comes often there and takes bath there. Now next to Lalita Kund is also a beautiful Julan Stali, swing pastime place of Radha and Krishna. There is even a small place built to commemorate that pastime. So sometimes Krishna would come to play swing with Srimati Radharani there. So one particular time, Krishna was waiting for Srimati Radharani to come for the swing program. So he was sitting on the swing alone. Because it is Lalita Kund, Lalita Devi was also very close by. Now she was also doing some important work. She was making garlands. She was making garlands so that she could offer it to Krishna and Radharani when they are on the swing. Now at this time, Shri Narad Muni comes in and he decides to become a catalyst in an amazing pastime. So Narad Muni thinks, what should I do to make some sweet pastime coming out of this small thing? Krishna is waiting, Radharani is decorating herself and Lalita Devi is making garland. So he goes to Srimati Radharani and says, Radharani, Krishna is waiting for you. Why don't you finish your decorations fast? And then says, I'm just coming. You tell Krishna I'm coming. So Narad Muni comes back, knowing now that Radharani will take some more time to come. He goes to Lalita Devi and says that you are making this garland. Are you sure about the length of the garland? What if you make a garland and the garland doesn't fit in? Krishna is here only. Why don't you go directly to Krishna and check his length? So Lalita Devi says, okay, Narad Muni is very intelligent, so let me go. So he goes next to Krishna, who is on the swing, and he says, Krishna, let me check your length, so I can make a beautiful garland. Narad Muni comes there, and Narad Muni says, Krishna, I had a desire for a very long time. And that desire is, I wanted to see you and Lalita on the swing. So Krishna is very also knowing everything. Krishna says, yes, why not? And it's Lalita Devi, you should fulfill the desire of Narad Muni, he's a great devotee. And Lalita Devi says, no, I cannot sit here. What if Radharani comes? She'll be angry on me. And Narad Muni says, don't worry, she is very busy in decorating herself. She'll take some time. Meanwhile, you can sit here. So Krishna also is pushing and Narad Muni is also pushing. So Lalita Devi sits on the swing. And Narad Muni, he starts pushing the swing. And is very happy to see Lalita Devi and Krishna on the swing. Now Narad Muni wants to make it more sweeter. So when Krishna and Lalita Devi are very absorbed talking to each other on swing and they have forgotten that Narad Muni is actually vanished from behind, Narad Muni goes to Radharani and says that, you know what, since you are not come, Krishna wanted someone, so he put Lalita Devi on the swing. So Radharani becomes very angry and she comes running. When she comes running, it is mentioned that she becomes very furious on Lalita Devi. But Krishna knows everything. And Narad Muni is hiding in some bush and watching this whole fun, So Krishna says to Radharani, don't worry, this is all orchestrated by my dear devotee Narad Muni because he wanted to have a beautiful pastime which people will speak and narrate for ages together. So then he mentions that how the whole thing happened and then Lalita Devi was made to sit here. So Radharani becomes very pleased. Lalita gets down and then Radharani sits on the swing and Lalita Vishaka come and they swing Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So this pastime happened in Lalita Kund at Nandagaon. Now we will take you to that place where Lalita Devi appeared in this material world. That's called Uncha Gao. So why Uncha Gao? Because if you go to Uncha Gao, there is a small hillock there on which there is a beautiful temple of Lalita Devi, the very place where she appeared, she was born there. Previously that hill was quite big. The whole village was nothing but a hill. And because the hill was on higher place, Uncha, it became Uncha Gao. In due course of time, the hill reduced in size and population increased. So now not many people are staying on the hill, but many people are staying around the hill. So now that whole Gao has become Lalita Gao, and that hill is called as Uncha Gao hill. So there are beautiful pastimes in that place. Now I was mentioning that there is only one place where Lalita Devi and Krishna's deities are there. But here is a place, Lalita Devi's own birthplace, appearance place, but she is not the main deity. Radharani and Krishna are there and she is serving Radha and Krishna in their pastimes. So beautiful deities are there. This whole pastime, this whole thing was manifested to one very great disciple, grand disciple of Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Narayan Bhatta Goswami. Narayan Bhatta Goswami was a disciple of Krishnadas Brahmachari, who was the main head pujari of Radha Madan Mohan temple in Vrindavan, and he was a disciple of Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami told him to worship Madan Mohan. Narayan Bhatta Goswami took initiation from Krishnadas Brahmachari, and Krishnadas Brahmachari told him that you should go and excavate holy places, which is the main service of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami as given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the whole area of Uncha Gao, this beautiful mountain of Sakigiri, and then this whole Barsana Dham was revealed to Narayan Bhatta Goswami. He got the beautiful deity of Sriji in the Barsana was discovered. Originally was installed by Vajrana, but then got lost. But Narayan Bhatta Goswami was revealed. He confirmed with different Puranas, the Adi Vara Puran, and then he excavated the deity and established a beautiful temple. Recently I went to a preaching satellite center. So I was amazed by devotees' intelligence, because there was one particular plot of land which devotees acquired from the government, and they built a small center, not a temple but a center. And I asked them, how you got this main plot of land in the main hub of the city, And he said that we made did some research, and we came to know that this plot of land was arranged or government thought that we'll make a jogging park and a children playground here. So we thought we will never get a land free like this, right? So they went and approached government, said, see, you are going to make this, but since so many years you are still making it, You give the land to us, we'll make it jogging park and we'll make it children's park, and also we'll have a center, a community hall where people can congregate and celebrate festivals and have spiritual programs. And the government is thinking, our work they are doing, no problem. And they got this land. So 1/4 of the land they made center, and 3/4 they made it a jogging park, and they made it a children's park. Now when the devotees come for the program, it's a big always anxiety where children will play. Our anxiety in Radha Gopinath temple is same thing, where children will play, how they will be engaged. But now this is such a nice thing. 1/4 place the parents are sitting and hearing katha, and 3/4 the children are playing haywire everywhere. So this is called as intelligence, where something was for some other purpose, but you use that saying that we'll do this purpose, but the main purpose is done. So we find the Goswamis in Vrindavan, they did this also. We find Raghunath Das Goswami, or Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Narayan Bhatta Goswami. They knew that time the prevalent rule in Bharatvarsha was that of Mughals. So now to make a temple and to arrange some spiritual thing was very difficult. But amazingly, they preached to people who were working with the king, the Mughal king. So there was Todarmal, there was Man Singh, all these people, whom the Goswamis preached, and they made them disciples. And then asked, what service I can do? They mentioned that you can help in whatever way you can. We want some temples here, we want some temples there. And they said, how can I make temple? Oh, you are in charge of construction for so many forts and museums for your Nawab. So why don't you get some material from there and use it for... And that's how predominantly all those materials which was used for making Sriji Mandir and Radha Govind Mandir is all meant for some big palaces and forts of Nawabs and Mughals. But those things were diverted and the beautiful temple here was made. So Narayan Bhatta Goswami made this Lalita Devi's temple in Unchagaon, and also made the Sriji temple, Barsana Mandir. And there are many beautiful pastimes. Time is short. There's still one small thing before we end. I'll take two small things. There is one place just close to Unchagaon, actually on the foothills of Unchagaon, the mountain. And there is the place where there is one small kund and there is one temple. The temple is called as Dan Bihari Mandir and the kund is called as Deha Kund. Why the Deha Kund name so and why Dan Bihari? It is mentioned Krishna was once sitting with Srimati Radharani at that place and a Brahmana, old Brahmana came and he was crying. And he approached Krishna and said, Krishna, I want your help. I want some dan. I am Brahman. You should give dan. You are Vaishya. So what dan you want? He said, I have one daughter who's of a marriageable age. So I don't have money to get her married. So please give me some dan. Krishna says, I don't have anything. The only dan, the only wealth I have is Srimati Radharani. You take her only. So the Brahmana, instead of becoming happy now, became more sad. He said, what kind of dan this is, I had one daughter, now another daughter has come. So my problem has increased. This is not good donation. I don't like this donation. So Krishna said, what can I do? This is the only donation I have got. Now at this time, Lalita Devi, she enters into the scene. And she understands the whole pastime. And she mentions that, you want some dan, don't worry. We'll do some dan for you. She arranges a weighing pan, a weight scale. And she says, Radharani, you sit on this one side. And all the gopis, Lalita Devi calls, and they remove all the bangles, ornaments and they put on one side. And then when Radharani's weight is balanced, all the ornaments is given to the Brahmanas. And Brahmana is very happy, goes away. So Krishna gave dan there. Therefore the temple is called as Dan Bihari. And because Krishna gave the dan of Srimati Radharani's Deha initially, that kund became Deha Kund. So all these pastime places around this whole Lalita Devi's is where Lalita Devi has orchestrated the pastime of expertly doing some service. Now comes the reward. There should also be some reward. Radharani is always very much ready to reciprocate with the services of his devotees. So there is a beautiful, another mountain called as Sakhi Giri Parvat, where all the Sakhis come, the gopis come and they play. So there Krishna was sitting with Radharani on one side, Lalita on another side, and all the gopis were sitting. And Krishna was very absorbed talking with all the gopis. That time Radharani got a brilliant idea. And she was thinking of reciprocating with Lalita Devi. So with her eyes, moving her eyebrows, she signaled to Vishaka Sakhi. Vishaka Sakhi got the hint. So Vishaka Sakhi came from behind, Krishna was absorbed, Lalita Devi was also absorbed. So Vishaka Devi, she tied Krishna's clothes with Lalita's clothes. So Radharani had an idea, now we will get Lalita Devi and Krishna married here. So their clothes were tied, both of them did not know. Then Radharani also, she signaled to Tungavidya, and Tungavidya with her veena, she started chanting all the mantras exactly fitting for a Vedic marriage. And seeing all these pastimes happening, all the gopis started singing all the songs of Braj which are all for marriages. And then Krishna realizes that something is fishy happening here. And Lalita Devi is also enjoying the whole thing. And then Lalita Devi becomes very much... she understands now that actually everyone is focusing on me to get married with Krishna. And Lalita Devi doesn't want that. She wants Radharani to enjoy with Krishna. But seeing that, she is about to escape. But when she gets up to run away, she realizes she has been tied with some cloth. Krishna's cloth is tied with Lalita Devi. And Radharani reciprocates with Lalita's love for her, by arranging the marriage of Lalita Devi with Krishna on Sakhigiri. So there is also Lalita Vivaha Mandap on Sakhigiri. That pastime is also there. So there are many beautiful pastimes, and I'll still say one last pastime and end there. Krishna saw one day all the gopis along with Lalita Devi and Radharani, they were preparing to go out some place. So Krishna asked, where are you going? That was the month of Magh. So they mentioned Magh is a very auspicious time. We are thinking of going to Prayag and taking bath there. Triveni Sangam. Krishna said, don't have to go there. If you go, I will miss all of you. So Krishna pulled out his flute and dug a hole. And on that hole, through the hole, Krishna made a beautiful well. And Krishna invoked all the three waters there, three rivers, Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. So that Triveni Kup is in Lalita Gaon. And that is the place where later Lalita Devi always used to come and take bath there. So all these beautiful pastimes connected with Lalita Devi is mostly in Unchagram, but also in different places in Braj. So it's a very beautiful auspicious day. Lalita Devi is very expert in serving Krishna and Srimati Radharani in her service. So we can pray to Lalita Sakhi today on this very auspicious day that please engage us in her service to Krishna and Radharani and not only just engages us in a service, but also little expertise so that we can execute our given service in a very positive way for pleasing all the Vaishnavas. Srimati Lalita Devi ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Extremely sorry for being late. Hare Krishna.